What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So before we get into the video, I told you guys in previous videos I don't want to waste y'all's time. I just want to get to the fishing action, and if you want to stay to the end and get some explanation, and that's what we'll do. So real quick, this video is going to be all about the Tiny Klash. Got some cast catches for you guys, and then at the end of the video I am going to break down all my gear and the ways that I fish it, and hopefully that can help you guys out. One more thing before we get into the video. These cast catches, they progressively get bigger, so please stick to the end so you can see some decent sized fish. Alright guys, enjoy the video. Guy. Go, boys. Face full of that Tiny Klash, baby. just caught this fish on the Tiny Klash. We're gonna get her in the live well just real quick while I get everything set up, get the scale out and all that, and then we'll get weight and everything on this fish. All right, hopefully you guys can see the scale. It's zeroed out. Beautiful fish. Big one. Big one too. Oh yes. Talk about eating it. Talk about eating the Tiny Klash. Absolutely choked it. Good fish. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Feels good to be posting an actual fishing video. I know the last few videos were a little bit different. They were short. Just a couple things I want to share from my trip to Florida. Some pretty cool things that I thought I got to see. If you saw those last two videos, that hammerhead shark was about 14 feet long, and then that bull shark was about 12 feet long. So if you haven't checked those out, take a quick minute. I think one of them's like 50 something seconds long, and then the other one's like 20 seconds long. Go check those videos out because they're pretty sweet. So I told you guys at the beginning of the video I'm gonna break down my gear, kind of tell you guys how I fish this lure, which is the Tiny Klash, and I've got a couple of these. I got in on the Working Class Zero drop like a lot of people did, and this lure has been awesome for me. So as you guys can tell, this thing is pretty beat up. The sides aren't very bad. I got hook rash on them, or the hook rash company that makes the Swimbait armor. I got that on, and I've had this on since I got this bait. And real quick, this is kind of a side note on fishing this bait. So if it ever starts to peel, I just take a lighter, get it real hot, and then it sticks right back down. I don't have any issues with it. So I really like this stuff. I did hit a rock. I don't know if you guys can tell, but took a Sharpie, colored it in, and then just put a little bit of hook rash, Swimbait armor, cut a little piece, put it over top of that, and that's held up pretty well. But you can see there's a couple dings. This bait has been absolutely chewed. Caught a lot of fish on it. So real quick, I'll talk about the gear, and then I'll break down how I fish this lure. Alright, you guys, so we'll start with the reel, the rod, the line, and everything like that. So I throw it on a Daiwa Coastal 200. Well, I guess it's a 201, it's a left-handed reel. It's a 73 reel, and I throw it. The rod I have it paired up with is an iRod Genesis 3. It's the IRG 804 SB heavy swim bait. Heavy rod. It's the Bailey Swim. So it's rated for 3 to 8 ounce lures, and line rating is 20 to 30 pound or 65 pound braid. And I am throwing this, the line I'm throwing it on is 65 pound Power Pro to a 25 pound P-Line CXX crystal clear leader tied with an FG knot with 24 wraps and four just overhand knots just to tie it down, and I like to burn both my tags. So that's the gear that I use for this setup. This rod and this reel, in my opinion, are perfect for this lure. You guys might have seen or noticed in some of those fish that I caught, you know, I was just reeling and I didn't even really set the hook. And a lot of them I don't. I'm usually banging this lure into a lot of cover, so that initial bite, sometimes yeah I can feel it. Sometimes it's just it loads up and gets heavy, and I just reel into them like just like a crankbait or something like that. Just reel into them, kind of, you know, lean into them, but I'm not setting the hook with this at all. So I like throwing braid. Come from fishing saltwater, so I think that's kind of why I like braid to leader. It just feels good to me. I like the sensitivity. It's just my way of fishing. I know a lot of guys will throw this on, and a lot of guys probably won't throw it on 25-pound leader. They'll probably throw something a little bit lighter. It's just what I'm comfortable with, and I like it. It's worked out very well for me. I haven't really had any issues with it at all. So the ways that I fish this, some of the clips you can kind of see, and then others you can't. So obviously if there's any like pockets I can throw this thing up into, and I like to, you know, people know dead walk, just kind of, it almost just moves side to side. It's not even really coming towards you. It is a little bit, but it's, you can kind of just keep it in that spot and just work it back and forth. So any pockets I like flipping up into that. But the main ways that I fish this, it's kind of like a 1-2 punch with I guess 1-2-3 punch kind of with other baits, which I'll talk about in my next video. But I have a lot of reed lines and pad lines and then wood in my lake. So on those reed lines, I like just throwing it down it, and I just get it a couple inches down underneath the water, just crank it down, and then I just start dead walking pretty much the whole way back. Or you know, sometimes I'll burn it and pause, but most of it is dead walking, as you guys you might have been able to tell in the video. Some of it looks like I was probably cranking it down. I did get bit a few times when I was cranking it down, trying to hit cover and stuff. Yeah, I love bouncing this thing against everything. And so that brings me to like the lip. I leave the lip in on mine all the time. I've taken it out just to swim a little bit. I actually took it out, which I'll have in a future video. There were some carp that were, I don't know if they were feeding or what they were doing, spawning up on this like spillway thing. And I thought they were eating it. It looked like they were hitting it, and I was like, maybe I'm just missing because I took the bill out and actually caught one when it was hooked in the mouth, which I'll show that clip in a later video. But for almost 100% of the time, I'm leaving the bill in because I'm bouncing this off a cover, pulling it through reeds, fishing the outsides and pockets of lily pads, and just keeping it in that cover as long as I can, really. And then I like reeling it down. There's a couple spots in my lake where there's a lot of wood, concentrate it, and I'll throw past the wood and then crank it down, and then I start hitting that wood, and then I'll start the dead walk. Something I should have said earlier is, with this reel, it makes it super easy to dead walk. I almost don't even use the rod. I pretty much just do quarter or half turns of the reel, and it does it perfectly, which I love. I'm sure any 7-to-3 gear ratio reel will do that, but I don't even have to use the rod. I just pop it, you know. Super awesome with that reel. Guys, the last way that I will fish this, there's really only a few spots in my lake that I can do this, but I will kind of get along a rock wall and throw it, and I'll just crank it. Mostly I'll just crank it down and just bounce off those rocks. And that's really the way that I fish it and how I use it. But I use it in conjunction with another bait, so I'm constantly going between two baits. and like I said, I'll talk about it in the next video. So if you guys have any questions, I know there's probably a lot of things that I left unsaid. Just shoot them down in the comment section and I'll get back to you guys. And thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up.